So I don't know when these were fixed or when the stuff happened, but I'm still gonna make a video on it. But I do remember that the first assault rifle, the original OG model, uh, didn't look like this when you aim down the sights, and I believe neither did the makeshift shotgun look a little bit like this. The tactical submachine gun and the makeshift submachine gun uh, also look a little bit better, I think. And also, I still really like how they just are the exact same model. However, yeah, that's broken. And I don't know why you hold this one like, you know, rifle or well, just normally technically because this is abnormal. This is the more preferred way to hold it, but I don't know. I think this is not how it's supposed to be held, at least game wise. But you know, it's definitely more viable than how that one is held. The two-shot shotgun is still bugged to where it doesn't have any first-person like camera at all for some reason. And also the pump shotgun has animation. I don't remember if it didn't or not, but it's very interesting that it does because no other pump shotgun has this, and this actually was good despite it being the first-person animation. So that's very cool. And on the other hand, all the grenade launchers. So let me just take this off and grab this one because these ones are more important. So despite them all basically being the exact same, uh, two of them share the same animations, and so do two others. It's really weird. And then one's just completely broken and busted. Rather than starting a whole new video, I'm going to piece this one together. But yeah, so the snowball launcher technically has a first-person animation, and so does K.I.T.T's shockwave launcher. But the grenade launcher works like this, not bugged, and does the whole entire hide-off camera thing, much like the egg launcher. Which is very funny because all three of these use the same model, and all five of these reuse the exact same animation. So it's just funny to me that one's busted. Well, like, hold on, let me redo this, reload it. One's busted, two work differently, and two work decently well, I think, ish. I mean, as good as you can get a, you know, grenade launcher with no sights attached to it whatsoever. As good as you can get that. And then the recon one is kind of weird. And you can spam it also when you have infinite ammo. And it doesn't reload. If I remember correctly, I think it reloaded. But, yeah, it's basically, similar to, you know, all these, but, you know, weirdly differently broken, but also not broken. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Not much else. Okay, never mind. I wanted to make a small little interlude on K.I.T., given the fact that he, you know, is in Fortnite, and, well, they didn't really get his interior right. It looks really close, but he's missing two big monitors. I think there's a whole entire, like, side over here that he's missing. There's an overhead console that he's missing. I think he's supposed to have, like, I don't know, like, windows or something above. It's just a normal T-top. I do think they like black out the top windows maybe, but all I know is that there's definitely an overhead console missing. They shrink the two big TVs for some reason, and where a kit's supposed to be is replaced by four big lines, and I think also is more like inclined rather than how it actually is. I think it should like be really close but slightly indented to these like 8 little button thingies, and I think these buttons should be maybe a bit bigger. And the back is the worst offender because rather than giving him a roll cage, they just completely obliterate the back seat and just give us a blank like wall textured within the thing. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, they make the back window a little bit less visible by it, so it kind of works because this is just a heinous monstrosity of anything because not being able to see this big ass window, like, well, see through it, and it being opaque on a Pontiac Trans Am feels like some sort of sacrilegious blasphemy towards just cars in general. But yeah, and also on top of that, they changed how his brake lights work. He has reverse lights and just normal brake lights, and they actually work as compared to Rocket League, to where they just don't work and are for some reason way more visible than they are here. Like as you can see, they're just completely black. But once you like reverse and brake, they appear because they're lights, and that's very cool. So they do that at the very least. And also, I think they just completely outright removed one of those fog lights. Like, well, two of them, of course, of the six line of them. But I think that's actually par for the course of Knight Rider. I think those might be like the brights or something. But they have a missed opportunity of making pop out headlights, which would have been very cool. But at the very least, though, they do like I think a model a recess, and on top of that, also final thing to talk about, Kit. They changed the way his scanner looks, which is a lot better here than it is in Rocket League because it actually looks more accurate to the show rather than whatever the bright lights that they were using uh, on the Rocket League model. So, uh, yeah, that's truly about it. I am very happy that Kit is in the game though, and I think maybe they got the wheel size correct, but I think the back wheel is like bigger, even though it shouldn't be, than the front wheel. But that could just be me. I don't really know. And I'm upset that we didn't really get. Uh, we technically did get more decals. I don't know if Kit had base decals originally, but I'm upset that we didn't get newer ones at the very least. If he, of course, if he didn't have base decals, because we didn't have base decals, he got base decals, and that's pretty much the newest thing we can get. But still, the fact that we didn't get a car decal upsets me. But I'm completely fine at the very least without it because they could have very much made the scanner amber colored, and then we could have had the white little outline, and that would have been very cool. Also, I think they actually really changed how the back looks in Fortnite, but I don't mind. I think it looks a lot good this way, and it might actually be more accurate to Knight Rider. So yeah, that's basically about it for this car in this video before I ramble on too much.